Dad's from that village, and that's my motto in life. Never take a step back. I grew up on the south side. This is my partner right here, Harry. We grew up wrestling, we grew up in the martial arts, and one thing led to another. Before there was any ultimate fighting, we used to fight for money on the south side. Collecting money entered the picture when a guy came up to me and said, "John, this guy owes me money. He's fucking huge. Can you help me?" And I said, "Let's go." That turned into me and 30 of my friends bringing in kilos from Florida. Got out of control. This is the Cliff Note version of my story. Alright, so in 1989, making $25,000 a week. We're doing pretty good. The feds ended up taking my home, my speedboat, 3 businesses. Feds come down on me. They knock at my mother's door. After they seized my house, I went home, stayed with my parents for a little while. My mother's a Greek DP, and they're banging on the door. I'm the cockiest kid in the south side. My mother's, "There's fucking cops outside. What's the matter with you? What's going on?" I go outside, there's 3 DA agents. Sure enough, they got a subpoena, and they're banging on the door. I go outside and go, "What the fuck are you doing banging on this door?" And he looks at me and goes, "I got a subpoena. You're going to go to the grand jury." And I grab the subpoena and I throw the subpoena in his face. And I said, "Get the fuck off my mother's property unless you're going to fucking arrest me. If you want to take that gun and that badge off, I'll beat your ass up and down this fucking driveway."
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was me at fucking 21 years old.
We need more of that.
Federal trial, 70 witnesses, everybody I knew testified against me. 45 years. All right, I walk out of the courtroom, I'm handcuffed, the U.S. Marshals behind me, 2 of my best friends are in this cage, 2 stool pigeons, and I wouldn't cooperate, I wouldn't testify against any of my buddies, none of the Colombians from Florida, none of the Chicago guys, none of the Italians. So here I am handcuffed, I see 2 of my best friends, and I spit in the cage because I couldn't get at them, and they're running back, and one kid says to me, "Wait till you see where you're going, you're going to die there, motherfucker." And I said, "Wherever I go, I'll live." This is my story. I am on a bus, and we're going to a penitentiary called Lewisburg. It's supposed to be the toughest penitentiary in the United States. I'm going to be the youngest white boy there. Whites are a small population. All right, so now we get there, and this place looks like Frankenstein's castle. 30-foot walls, gun towers. And I was a tough kid. I said, "Man, I ain't afraid of this fucking place. Fuck it. I'm going to make it." So we start going through orientation. Me and 3 other guys went into compound. Everyone else went into protective custody. So I still didn't register to me, as cocky as I am, how much trouble I'm in, until we go to the movie theater. And the first weekend there, everybody's telling me how tough this place is. I might get killed, I might get raped. I didn't believe none of that shit. I thought these guys were just trying to scare me. So we're watching this movie called Beaches. I'll never forget this. This is my most So there's Bette Miller, Barbara Hershey, and there's the one girl's dying. There's a little kid at the coffin crying. I'm thinking, man, I can't cry in this place. There's fucking too many killers here. I got 45 years. I got to be tough. So sure enough, a guy on the same bench, 3 seats down from me. I'm thinking, somebody's choking for popcorn. I said, somebody's choking. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I look down this bench. This is when reality hit me about Lewisburg. There's a guy behind him with a leather belt around this guy's throat, pulling back. The guy next to him's holding his hand down. Now, remind you, in jail, they don't fight. So the taekwondo, the wrestling, the boxing, they do no good. Everybody's got these shanks. And they strap them in their hand with duct tape because if you stab somebody, it's hard to get it out with the blood. So this guy pulls out the shank like this. And I see it. And I was like, wow. So he takes the shank and 3 times he's stabbing this guy in the chest. So remind you, one guy's got a belt around his throat. Another guy's holding his arms down. This guy's punching holes in his chest. And I said to myself, I'm from the south suburbs. I've never seen this shit before. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I was going to run or just stay there and wait. So I stayed there. Nobody else moved. The cops come and they grab us. Everybody in the road gets grabbed. We go all to the hole. The guy's laying on the floor and I'm stepping over him. I'm thinking, holy fuck. So I'm in the hole and I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I didn't feel like telling my old man I'm under investigation for murder or anything like that. So we go to the captain's review, and sure enough, we're all handcuffed to these chairs. And they're asking me, what did you do? What did you see? And the first one I said, I was just sitting there watching the movie. It was dark. I heard somebody choking. I thought they were choking on popcorn. This captain spit in my face. You You fucking piece of shit, what did you see? And spit's coming up, I'm handcuffed to the chair. So now the one kid that did all the stabbing, he said, I'll never forget this, he says, I did it all and nobody did nothing. And let everybody else go but me. He could send me to Marion for lockdown. So I'm thinking, that's good, we're gonna get out of here soon. First, the next thing the next guy says, the guy that's holding the bolt around his throat, he says, wait a minute, you're not gonna fucking take all the credit. I was holding the belt around his throat. At that point, I knew where I was, with a bunch of fucking retards. So what did I do? I said, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I got into the law library, and I started reading the cases back to the 70s, and I successfully wrote an appeal, and I got out from a 45-year sentence to 19 years when my lawyers told me it couldn't be done. So my motto is, don't fuck with the feds. You can beat the system with the books. And now I'm out, manager at Gateway Chevrolet up north, and things are going good. Me and Donnie are going to put a project together. Hopefully someday you guys will all be reading my book.